Or this is gonna be a pretty in-depth video about how to maximize your outbound sales with Sonnet 5. And so I got two Miro boards here. One is probably what you're doing now or something similar, and then one is what you could be doing just with Sonnet 5. And so quickly, right, what most teams are doing is it's kind of all relying on the SDR. And so I broke it into different parts of you have the cold outbound to get the cold to interested lead, and then you have the lead to booking, just the interested lead to booked call. And then you have your booking to sale, which I put as more like a sales aspect. This is not really outbound, but it's the lead to booking part. And so, yeah, normally, right, you do cold outbound, and the whole process of the cold outbound is just get an interested lead. And from the interested lead, the SDR has to push the lead to the CRM and track the lead status. And they also have to research the lead as soon as it comes in, call the lead if you want to maximize conversion rates by a ton. And to call the lead, they have to find the phone number and they have to look into the intent and info, the name, a bit about the company, the job title that they're reaching out to, and the company size. Put more effort into replying to whales, the bigger deals, they should be prioritized. And then reply to the other leads as well. And then this is not to be overlooked. Uh, follow-ups, 5 to 7 follow-ups over the next 2 to 4 weeks plus before you consider the lead as like dead or lost. And so that's a lot to try to get a booked call out of every single lead. I mean, if you're running outbound well, you should be getting, I'd say, at least 10 leads a day. Depends on this like medium to high ticket. That'd be a couple booked calls a day. That's a lot on the SDR, right? And it can work. You can get like all right lead to booking rates from it. And if you're doing this right now, you might be getting decent lead to booking rates. But it's so easy to just get so much more out of each SDR or appointment setter. And so this is the process that we use. And so start off, you do a cold outbound to the interested lead, and then straight away comes the AI setter. And first off, it just pushes the leads to the CRM and tracks the status of how many follow-ups have been sent. That in itself, you should probably already have set up, even if you're using an SDR appointment setter heavy lead to booking process. But then the AI setter also pings Slack with the lead's phone number, super easy to grab, intent and info, which is just like, how big is the company, what job title is the person that replied, what's the value of the lead, what offer, if there's multiple offers, what offer did they reply with interest to, and then what was the actual reply. And then either it can just immediately reply to the lead or send a template reply that just says like yes or no for sending it. So I guess it's not really a template reply. It says like a draft reply saying, can I say this? And you just click yes or no in Slack. So you just have to read it and click send. What I recommend is if you're testing on a newsletter, you can do this. Or if it's a really high value lead, you can do this to try to maximize the whales. But usually AI setters are completely fine just applying for leads right away. And then you get that speed to lead for every single lead. And it's also easier to track your data because the knowledge base of the setter is trained on. So all the replies are similar if you want. And then it also, that the variable of how quick you replied is isolated. And then you also have automated follow-ups that are in uniform that you can see and split test a lot easier over the next 5 to 7 weeks, over the next 5 to 7 touches, which is usually like 2 to 4 plus weeks. And yeah, this whole system right here, very, very simple, but just to be able to have, ping Slack with the leads intent and info to make it so much easier for SDR, reply the lead right away, immediately speed to lead makes a huge conversion boost. So this not only takes time off your SDR, but it actually will increase your conversions. And then the automated follow-ups as well will increase your conversions. Because let's be honest, like your SDRs and your appointment setters, are they really following up with every single interested lead 5 to 7 times over the course of a couple weeks? If they are, like, good on you for your training and all that, but it's a heavy ask, and it's hard to track all that if you're getting tons and tons of leads coming in, right? And then all your SDR has to do, this is like the highest leverage task for the SDR, is check Slack when they get a ping and call all of the leads, call all of the warm leads that it skyrockets conversions, and then put extra effort into replying to whales, making custom resources, really good replies, connecting with them on LinkedIn. They can also connect with just every lead on LinkedIn and try to maximize leads in that way. And then your SDRs are just getting way more out of each SDR. And so if you're thinking, wow, it's not enough work for my SDR to do, then, you can always just get them on cold call and get more leads. But also, you should only be getting your SDR to do the work that they need to do, right? This can all be automated. So there's no point in paying an SDR or appointment setter to do all this when you can just automate it very easily, right? The highest leverage thing that SDR appointment setter can do is, of course, be also communicating with you, the sales team, marketing team, to make sure they understand the process, but just call the leads to get way higher conversions and then maximize the super, super valuable leads. That's just the highest leverage task you can get from your appointment setters. And so that's just a very simple process that we kind of do and help businesses with. Usually, just when we run the cold email, we'll set this up and then we'll just kind of help their SEOs with this. We also do more in-depth things like a post booking page thing, and then like the booking to show flows and all this sort of in-depth stuff. But yeah, I mean, if you're interested in a process like this being built for you, or you just want to learn a bit deeper on how we actually build this, then you can book a call with me in the description. And if you want 500 leads, if you do outbound, or even like 100,000 leads for about $30, or exactly $30, then we just launched a Google Map scraper that you can check out in the description. 500 free leads, or super cheap, hundreds of thousands of leads to check out. So yeah, check that out as well. And cheers, subscribe.